All right, we get to an official video on your buddy Joe Rogan. So he is a staple or an archetype you're going to be hearing us talk a lot about because he really represents a super happy, healthy, successful number 4. Now, he happens to be the exact same type as our son Cody, exact same social type. So it's kind of interesting watching him. Just a side note on that, watching Cody growing up. When Cody was a baby, he was a very different person. Still the same type, everything was the same. But he was kind of more in his masculine energy when he was young, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then now that he's older, 6 to 12, he's more in his feminine energy. So it's very interesting to watch somebody kind of move throughout their types. Because, people will tell their story. They're like, oh yeah, I was so different in high school. Like for me, I was very depressed. I didn't talk much. Can you imagine that? Me not talking much? So it's like, there are definitely times in your life or your childhood where you're more introverted, you're more extroverted, you're more depressed, you're more sad, you're more this, you're more that. So it's like you kind of grow and evolve over the years. And Joe Rogan is a good example of, I remember I fucking hated the guy in the 90s. He was loud, obnoxious, rude, offensive. And now he's just like this wise old grandpa that, Uncle Joe sitting on the fucking podcast interviewing everybody. Just a totally different person than how he was in the 90s. Anyways, a great representation of how you can really grow and be very happy, healthy, etc., no matter what crazy-ass type you are, even if you're a fucking blockhead. Now, good-looking guy. We see that with the ENTJs, especially this type, now as he's getting older. Now, he's built like a Ninja Turtle. And is one hell of a guy at martial arts. Like, he kind of downplays how good he is. Like, he's really, really good. And so the thing that Joe talks about in these clips is how he uses his workouts to put pressure on him. Let me go ahead and just look at his official type here. So you got this feminine inner world, and then you got this masculine outer world. And we see with our son Cody, you would think this feminine FI would be a real hard challenge. We see with Shan, she definitely has a hard time like wrangling her feminine FI at times. And Cody not as much as Shan. And we're like, what is that? Is that because boy or girl or upbringing? We're all trying to figure out like why is Cody not as big of a deal with his feminine FI, where Shan seems to have a little bit more of a drive. So Shan is like, I need to get stuff done. I need to make things happen. I need to kind of drive forward. So there's a lot of like, the FI is like needing things her way, because she's trying to drive. And Cody at the bottom is like, just hang out. It's cool. Just go with the flow. Just friends. It'll work out. And I think it's like the social types are kind of having a pull there. Now, the thing that we're going to look at here is he's interviewing Rick Rubin, right? So, They're talking about like Tom Petty and other guys that are just kind of like scared to leave the house. They kind of get boxed in. They kind of get worried in life. They kind of don't know what to do. And so Rick, being a very open, non-threatened guy, is asking Joe what Joe does. Now, that's fucking great because like not a lot of people really look into Joe. And whenever you do, or whenever Joe accidentally leaks out on his Instagram what he's doing in his life by, like Joe has the objective answers of like what to do in life, no matter what social type you are. So it's like no matter what social type you are, you got to do the push through, the workouts. There's always going to be some muscle, some area that you're weak, that you're causing a lot of problems in, and you got to get a passing grade on that. Like literally think about like a muscle thing, Like, hey, if your calves or your arms or your shoulders are just way out of balance for the rest of your body, like when you go to do your workouts, you might want to prioritize those first. You don't have to be the best in the world at them, but you can't have this constant aching pain because some muscle is just all atrophied and not using it. You're going in circles. And you don't get off the hook. Oh, I'm a number 1. I don't have to have friends. No, fucker. That's what you got to put first. That's what you got to do when you get up in the morning. Do the harder workout first. So if you're number 1, send out some nice emails. Do some nice audios for people. Just give a little love. Just get that over with. 20, 30, 40 minutes in the morning. You're going to fucking hate it. You're going to feel so great when you're done. Do the stuff that's hard for you, whatever it is, your precision, your specialist, your friendship, whatever it is, just get that moving. And then you can go about being a rampage maniac the rest of the fucking day on crack doing your saviors. At least you got a passing grade on your demons. And same if you're number 4. Well, discipline's hard for me and responsibility. Shut up. It's fucking hard for everybody. You still got to put that at the beginning, focus in on that, and get that fucking done.
Other side, too, there's so many artists who are shy, private people.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for them to deal with any kind of success or fame. It's a weird world. And even the ones who think they want that, when it actually happens, it's a shocking... It's not what it's cracked up to be. Obviously, there are great perks.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice to be successful, and there are things that happen when you're successful that you're not expecting, and things become a lot more complicated in your life, and it can shrink your life to the point of I know some rock stars over the years who literally never left their house or did anything. Tom Petty would be a great example. The only thing Tom Petty did was record music, tour, watch television, read books. He wouldn't go out to dinner. He wouldn't go anywhere because if he went out, someone would be, oh, it's Tom Petty, and it just made him uncomfortable. It was too weird.
Yeah.
So there's your setup, right? There's your setup. We can all relate to that, even if you're a rock star or not. you can all relate to as you get older. You're like, I just don't want to go to the thing. I don't want to get my ass kicked. I don't want to go over there. And I've definitely seen that in real life. I've seen that in my life, friends and family. I see people as they get older, like the funny things will be like, I know for myself a lot. It's like, no, I've done that and and so that's great. You know, you're taking some weight off the bar. You're getting your ass not kicked today. It's kind of great. But then over time, you know, you get that Tom Petty effect where you're like, okay, your life is now this weird little box. No matter if you're an IJ or whatever, you find it just get in this little box, right? And you see this happening to yourself, your friends and family, bad, right? And so it's like really consciously identifying, okay, what the hell am I afraid of? Oh, I'm afraid of the social shame. I'm afraid of the chaos of the parking at the thing. Really, I don't want to go to the wedding. I can sleep in the car once I go in and say hi to everybody, do my thing, and I'm like, yay, everybody likes me. And then like once they're not looking, I just go hide in the car and take a nap. But the parking, like it's in LA. You got to park on the street. I can't take a nap in the car on the street in LA. God damn the parking. I don't want to go to this thing because the park. Like that's the thing that'll get me the most. So it's like every time we've won in life. It's when we make it a game of like, all right, this is going to be self-growth for me. I'm going to go to the goddamn wedding because I'm going to conquer that parking situation. And it's going to be a workout, and I'm going to schedule it in. I'm going to factor it in because, back to pain equation, I know that if I keep saying no to these workouts, that I'm just going to get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker in that little muscle.
Yeah, that happens with comics too. You lean into your audience. You lean into what you think that they want to hear, and then you become them.
How do you stay true to your voice as a comedian through success, through the ups and downs of doing it? How do you stay true to what you're doing?
One thing I do is I don't read anything that anybody says about me.
Great.
That helps. And two is I spend a lot of time alone. I do almost all my working out alone, all the sauna time and cold plunge, and, writing. I spend a lot of time just thinking and not thinking about what people think about me. Just thinking about what I like, what's interesting. And
nice.
I think one of the things that really tempers me or keeps me sane is the workouts because they're so brutal. And they're so hard that everything else is easy.
Yep.
And I think that's something that's missing from a lot of people's lives where you deal with the anxiety of fame and celebrity and just the attention and all the demands on you. And it's kind of overwhelming. And if all you're doing all day is like dreading those experiences, like if you're Tom Petty and you're hiding in your house, you're dreading going to dinner or dreading going out, then those moments do become too big to deal with. And then you just want to get away as quickly as possible and go back to your house.